Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to the basement farm. It is game day morning, so let's get cracking. Off camera yesterday we finished our weeding that was going on, and as you can see, tidied our yard up. We've got everything nicely lined up in here now, just because I'm going to pay some attention to the yard later on. But the first plan for today is to go and buy a fertilizer spreader, because as we can see as we run onto our oats field in the bottom right, we are 50% fertilized. We need to boost up our productivity there as much as we can, and the same over here in our soybeans, 50% fertilized, 2 different growing stages going on. So you may also have noticed the oat field needs lime. Now, initially I was planning on buying a sprayer to spray liquid fertilizer on, but with that needing lime, I had a feeling I should probably buy something that will do both. So we will trip over to the shop, learn how to start our things going on. That's much better, yes. Learn how to do that. We're going to pop over to the shop, buy the very same piece of equipment we borrowed earlier on to spread lime on that field, just because that will spread lime and it will spread fertilizer, which is a nice bit of dual use there. If he's got his lights on, maybe we should too. So I think I will probably be going back for another sprayer later on, if only because that can fulfill the dual purpose of not only spraying fertilizer, but as time goes on we'll be needing that to spray some weed killer. So let's go grab that in here. We'll grab some solid fertilizer whilst we're here and fill it on up. Fertilizer technology is here, down at the bottom, just across to the right there, and we have this middle one. So, yes. There are some options. We can extend it to increase the capacity, but that's not really necessary, I don't think, at this point, so we'll save our money there. We could change the wheel setup, but we haven't got crop description on, so we'll leave those as they are. You can change the system it uses to spread. Those spreading discs will fling the whatever it is around the place, or you can have a big spreading unit attachment, but for another £8,000, that seems a little excessive. We will just buy that as it is. So that should be waiting for us. We'd better get some fertilizer to put in it, otherwise there seems very little point. I think we'll get 2 of those. We can always re-unload it when we get home. Oh, I left an indicator going. Okay, well, let's turn that off because it's annoying as well. There we go. Okay. So let's reverse that from the external view, because we all know what my reversing is like with these articulated trailers. It is best described as not the best, although that seems to have gone fairly well. I tell you what, half a chance some of my real-life trucker friends may be vaguely proud of what I achieved there. Only vaguely. There we go. So at bottom right, we've got 2,000 litres in there. Still plenty of room if we happen to go into another field for any reason. So let's get back and start our fertilising. How exciting. I think for the larger field, I'm going to be tempted to put this on a worker. But certainly that smaller field, oopsie daisy, the smaller field I'm definitely going to do myself. It's only 4 passes or so, and it's a brand new piece of kit, so, well, why not? Either I just turned some lights on or the sun came up a little bit. I'm thinking sun. Oh yes, they weren't our lights at all, were they? So yes, here we go. And so whilst you do have the added expense of adding lime and fertiliser onto a field, you really do get it back. It increases the yield you get from that field, and is very, very worth it indeed. It's quite a wide spread, but I think that should just about cover. I'll check on the map when we finish the field. That will show us the state of it in every conceivable way, and see if we've missed any. See if I need to learn a better tidying circle for this. I think if we go back along a little line of what I think are weeds, that looks about right. So yeah, it should just be a 4 pass over this field, I think. Maybe a 5th if I don't quite get it right. Oh, I have noticed it even keeps running in 17, if you weren't fertilising a field, you didn't actually use any. I've just seen that did use some as I was turning that corner. So we shall learn to be more careful as time goes on. Oh, that might have just caught it. No, not quite, but we'll have a look when we get down to the bottom anyway, if only to see the difference between the two. Who knows, that might show us that we've caught the whole field there. There we go. So let's have a look at our map. Oops, there we go. Change that to show soil composition off on the right hand side. Need that one. Oh, we've already taken needs lime off, so zoom in. Oh, we have caught that missed that little strip on the end there, but for now I think that's will do. That only used 300 odd. I think that should be enough for this larger field, 1700, so we will have to see if we've got enough. Where were we up to? Oh, there's a strip of weeds in that field. Oh, let's get that sorted out. In that case, let's put this on a worker. I will jump. There we go, in the other tractor. Helper A is not blocked by an object. I ran out of the way. And we'll use the map to help us line up and get rid of that strip of weeds. Just in terms of maximising everything we need. Where did I leave the weeder? Oh, it was just round here, wasn't it? And when that's done, I will leave the worker doing the fertilising. There we go. Let's head up to the top of the other field. I will leave the worker fertilising that field whilst I come and talk through what I think my plans, I'm going to say are, but maybe the better phrase is should be, for the yard. Right. So where was it? Up the top. Oh, was a building up the top I can use to help line up. Is it my building? Ooh, that looks a bit spooky. Let's have a little look. It's like something from some sort of zombie fiction film. Can't get in there, but there is a wood pile, huh? Ah well. Okay, so that means the weeds are somewhere about here, are they not? There they go, I can even see them peeking out in all their cheeky glory there. Make sure we're lined up. Yes, that is indeed where they are. We need to get out of the way of that old fella. So let's do that, otherwise he'll complain there's people in the way. let him get on with his work, as he's being paid by the hour. I may even be able to get him to nip in front of him. Yeah! Ha ha ha! There we go. Let's drop that down. Get weeding down this little strip that we somehow managed to miss. I'm sure there's a reason for that. Oh, it's because it went over its growth stage. Well, I'm not going to hire a spreader just for that. So let's head back to our garage with this. It's gone past the stage you can use the actual weeder. If the crop grows too high, then the weeder is ineffective, so you'd need to get some herbicide sprayer, but we don't have one of those or the means to yet. So, whilst we're parking up, my plans for the yard are, I'm going to get rid of this shelter in the middle. It feels very cramped, and whilst it's very much in keeping with the character of the town of Felsbrunn in general, it's kind of hard to get things under. So we're going to have to drop that down like that in order to park it there. As we can see, the combine barely fits in. I had to jam it there in the corner. So I think we'll be selling that. I'm also thinking of selling the barn just off to the right hand side there. I think I might get slightly more money if I go over to the shop, but well, let's investigate that. Here we can see what I do have. Right on the right hand side of all this is we have the silos, which I'm going to keep. That's quite useful to stick stuff in. There's our shelter at 14,700. I'm going to keep our farmhouse, so we've got nowhere to sleep. And this farm barn as well, which is this over here, doesn't really add anything to my actual farm. So hopefully I can get rid of it. I can't store anything in here. I can't get in it very well. This door doesn't seem to want to open. This might be a limitation of the PlayStation. I don't really know. But even so, I'm going to get rid of it and put a call in to see if anyone will be able to take that down for us and give us the money for all the materials they can salvage too. So what did we say? We said 14.7 and 49. In that case, let's just do a little experiment. Let's run over to the shop. I'm going to take that with us because I'd imagine I'm not going to take that with us. That would be foolish. So, yeah, let's run over to the shop while those figures are in our mind. And the plan is I'm going to get a new, slightly more modern vehicle shelter to stand effectively where that barn is. It'll be easier to arrange things in and all of that malarkey. And I think I may also get us a dog to help out around the place. Whoopsie daisy, that was the wrong button entirely. A dog to help out around the place. Because dogs are cool. Let's just see if we sell those for any more whilst we're over here. So yes, for the rest of the day, I'll see if there is any sort of interesting contract work we could do. Let's have a look in here. I can't sell it there. I wonder if I can talk to the gentleman in the shop. See if I get any more money for dealing with them directly. I do not. 14.7 and 49.3. Right, well, we can do that any time. But now we've had that conversation, I'm sure they will be ready, and it'll likely take them the rest of the day. So we can see our new yard tomorrow, game day morning, which I suspect will be the next video. So, okay, so let's get back to the yard, back to the farm. It looks like our fertilizer gentleman has finished, in which case I'll pop those back towards the yard. One thing I think I will need to do is move our existing stock of boing, bags there. I'll just move those over by the house for now. Just because the guys then won't be able to see what we're planning with the new barn, which should go up. I say barn, it's more of the new vehicle shelter. It should go up fairly quickly when we've asked them to do it, so. But for now, let's put these just over here by the house, so it's out of everyone's way. Stick them here in the garage. We don't put anything in the garage just yet. There is quite a nice luxury piece of kit I may grab at some point. Looks like quite a high-powered golf cart, just for dashing around the place in. Instead of taking a full tractor down to the shops, you can take that instead. But right, so let's get these loaded over here. Whoop, careful. Well, that could have been more graceful for all concerned. So when we finish shifting this stuff about, let's have a look at the contract work and see if there's anything of any interest to us. I'm sure there will be, but this is wise to find out. I'm aware I'm loading these kind of the wrong way around, but for now, it's just to clear them out of the way. Much more graceful. Okay. For now, let's just pop you here, see if I can do that without taking any of my farmhouse down. Pop over, bring the fertilizer back. He is indeed all finished. And blocking the road. Well, thoughtfully done, my worker friend. Sorry, everybody. Let's get that out of your way. Okay, yes, I'm moving now. Sorry, it was in your way. You can't get the stuff these days. They just leave things where they fall. We'll plonk this in front of the house as well, because, well, why not? We'll unload that trailer later, but for now, let's see if there's any decent contracts we can do. There we go. That's our second field. Changes to fully fertilized, other than those weeds I can't quite get rid of. Okay. Is there anything interesting happening in here? Well, that is a big one. Doing loads of sowing. We'd get to do. Ooh, field 16. How big is 16? Fairly big, but nice and square. I think I may take that one, if only for the money. We don't need the money because we've got plenty of stock. Is there anything interesting? I quite like the transport jobs because it feels like I'm doing things from the guest house to the castle hotel. That does sound fairly fun. And from Port Southeast to the gas station. I have no idea where the gas station may be. But there's Port Southeast. Oh, there's the right in the middle by field 14. That one quite nice. Yes, I think I will take those on, which should take us the rest of the game day. But for now, I will fade out and I'll fade back in when I'm going to do one of those, just because there are real life things to do. So, for now, I will bid you good day and see you on the other side of the fade-in. Ta-ta for now. Bye! Yes. The thing I like most about these transport tasks is that I'm actually learning to use the stacker, which is something of a relief, as I was rubbish at it for quite a long time. This, at the moment, it's not really about the money. This is just about doing some stuff to fill in time. Now, there were two. I think the guest house is quite near. If I can find the other one. The gas station. So I'm going to take that one first. Let's head down to Port Southeast. I may have a natter whilst I'm doing this. I may time-lapse some. I'm not really sure what's going on here. Alright. We are stuck in the barn, and that's one of the reasons I want to sell it. How on earth did I manage to get it in? If I now can't get it out. Well, there we go. I'm sure that'll have pulled some paint off the barn or the... Oh, now do come on. Behave. I better straighten that up before we go on the road anyway, hadn't we? Right. Let's find a safe place to put that, drop it off the back, put it back on the front, and then we can get on with our day. That's better. Can I cancel that now? Yes, I can. Good-o. So let's head down to Port Southeast, which is in this direction here. Oh, that's down by the grain station, isn't it? Yes, the thing I quite like about these is that I've actually learnt to use the front loader quite a lot better. Whilst they don't pay a lot of money, it is quite nice just to have these to fill in the rest of the game day. They'll be, whilst we're out, they're going to be dismantling that barn for us. So when we get up tomorrow morning, it shouldn't be there. I'm not going to overtake this car because I'm turning off here. I want to see where it goes first. Let's tell him where we're going. We're going this way, sir. Oh, yours. I see indicators happening to other people there. How nice. See where he goes here, because I'm tempted to go a completely different way. Don't turn left, don't turn left, don't turn left. Ah, good man yourself. Right. Okay, well, Port Southeast is down here. So, I'll keep heading that way. And, yeah. Also, you get to see quite a nice views of Felsbrunn town whilst we're driving around on these transport missions. So, sit back, I will time-lapse this and the next one, unless there's anything interesting to say, which there may or may not be, it's hard to tell. And I will see you probably in the next video. So, I will sign off as normal at this point. I think that should be about the 20 minutes, give or take. By the time these are finished. So yes, I'll sign off as normal. Thank you, as always, for watching. If you could like and subscribe if you haven't already, that would be lovely. And then I won't have to spam my personal Facebook feed, Instagram, quite as often as I do. But I haven't had any complaints so far, but that often doesn't really mean anything. So we'll pop in here, pick our stuff up, and we will see you in the next video back at the farm. Take care. Thank you again. Bye-bye! And yes, as I paused to unload, the slight issues we had with putting those pallets on the trailer there are part game glitch, I think, but also primarily, let's go with operator error, shall we? As I'd already hinted, the front loader isn't my particular strong point in this game. If I was asked to say what my strong point was, I'd say I don't really know. But I am fairly sure it's not that. If you try and put something down on it too hard, I don't know if it's on purpose or by design, or just a little piece of unfortunate stuff that happens. It tends to get stuck on the forks, and the best way to sort that out seems to be, see why am I putting that there, is to try and put it on the ground and then pick it back up again. This one doesn't want to come off there at all, so there we go, much better. There, I'm now going to have to go round you to get that other one off, so let's go and do that first to make these last two just that little bit easier. So as we mess about, and I think it might just be easy to get that off the other side now I think about it, in which case we'll do it last. So I shall mess about, unload here, and then I will take the next contract, cash these both in. That should probably be somewhere near the end of our game day, and I will see you tomorrow game day to half an hour, unless, of course, something else goes spectacularly wrong and I feel the need to come online and make excuses about it. Either of these things could yet be true. So yes, thanks again. Bye! So, yes, just a quick drop in to close off this particular video. I was going to do a second transport job, but as you can see on that left-hand menu, as I scroll all the way down, it has disappeared, which just means that it's reached the end of its cycle. They're only available for a set amount of time, and then they drop off. But then I noticed the time, game time anyway, which is 20 to 6, so that's fairly late. But as I came back to the farm, he said, roughly role-playing, I noticed that the barn space was now just a space with no barn. And also they have dismantled our large vehicle shelter there, somehow around the vehicles. Well done, everyone there. So they will be ready to start reconstructing all that tomorrow, game day, which will be next video. I also saw our oats are now ready for harvesting, which should be nice. We'll get some straw bales off there as well, something else to think about selling. And our soybeans are very nearly ready. The ones that seem to be at growth stage ahead, well, they move as you walk through them, are already ready to harvest. The ones next to them are still growing, but I'm sure they will be ready to harvest by the time we get to it. So we do have some jobs nicely lined up for Time Lapse Tuesday, so that should also be fun. So yes, that's all for now anyway for this video. So thank you very much for watching. As always, subscribe, like, comment, yada yada yada, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.